Hello everyone, my name's Stephanie. I'm an Australian prep teacher and I love creating resources for a prep classroom. Let's get into another tip. So in my last video, I was talking about how to handle it when you've got a big range of writers in your classroom. And if you haven't checked that out, just go back and have a little look. But in there, I mentioned using a bump it up wall in your classroom. And so in this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about what a bump it up wall is and how to use it. So a bump it up wall is something that many teachers use in their classroom, and it's a visual display that you put on your wall, and it shows students what different writing levels look like, and it helps your students to work out what they need to do to bump their writing up to the next level. Let me show you a video of what my one looks like. So basically it has different writing samples, and underneath those samples it has what that writing sample has included. So the idea is that a student comes along and has a look at the samples and think, okay, so this is where my writing's at. What do I need to do to bump it up to the next level? What has that next sample included? Because those are the things that they need to then include in their writing to improve their writing. A bump it up wall is really useful for when you do have a range of abilities of writers in your classroom, because it's something that they can all access and something they can all use. So no matter if they're at the beginning end, they're really beginning writers, they can still see, what they need to include to move their writing to the next level. And then your students who are perhaps already writing sentences, they go to that level of the bump it up wall, see what they need to include to improve their writing. So they all have something to work on. They all have something they need to improve on. And it doesn't matter if you've got some students up this end and some students up that end. They can all access it. So when you do first introduce a bump it up wall to your classroom, you really do need to explicitly teach them what it is, how it works, and how the students use it. So you do need to spend a bit of time teaching them on what to do. However, I have found in my experience that kids are real goal-getters. They want to get better, but they don't know what they don't know. So we need to tell them and teach them how to become better writers by including these things. So I'll have students that will go to the bump it up wall. They'll know which level they're on, partly because I've helped them figure that out and partly because they recognize it. And they'll look at the next level and realize, I want to get to that level. And so they'll include those things in their writing. They really want to achieve their writing goals. So the two main reasons why I like my bump it up wall as opposed to other ones I saw online is, first of all, it's very prep or kindergarten student friendly. You can see there's limited words and there's lots of visuals. So even your students who do struggle with reading, if they can't read the word finger spaces, they can recognize the picture. So there's lots of visuals. That's the first reason. The second reason why I made this bump it up wall and why I love it is because you'll notice that there's no words like good, great, excellent, brilliant that you see in other bump it up walls. And I did that on purpose, and it's because I don't want my kids who are on the good level to feel worse off than the kids that are on the excellent level. We are their teachers. We need to praise them and teach them where they're at. So if my student is at the beginning of the spectrum, on the lower end, if they achieve that, I don't think that's good. I think that's brilliant, So I don't use those words excellent and all that in my bump it up wall. It's not needed. All the difference is that the flowers get higher. That's the only way that it shows the growth. You don't need words like excellent because they're all excellent. So if you're interested in using a Bump It Up wall in your prep or kindergarten classroom, I'll put a link to my one below. But a Bump It Up wall is just such a great tool to use with your kids. It's visible learning, you know, they know what they have to include, there's no guessing, and the kids love achieving goals. They want to get better, and a Bump It Up wall is a really great way to help them to see how to progress in their writing. As always, be sure to hit subscribe and like, and don't forget to share this with any other prep or kindergarten teachers that you know. I'll see you soon.